Over the last 30 years, Delta has developed a version of the hen house that we found to be both effective and durable. This design does require a few tools and a welder to complete, but it will provide 20 years or more of duck production when placed in a good location. If you don't have access to the necessary tools or are uncomfortable with some portions of the construction process, a welding shop in your area should be able to help. There are 3 basic components needed for a hen house: the post or base pipe, the cradle, and the tunnel or hen house itself. For the base pipe, we use an 8-foot length of 1.5 inch square steel tubing, typically with 11 gauge or about 1/8 inch wall thickness. The heavier wall is less likely to mushroom when you pound in the post or be damaged by ice during spring melt. The cradle slides into the post and provides a secure location for the hen house. It's composed of 4 pieces of steel: one 32 inch length of 1 inch square tubing, one 24 inch length of 1 inch square tubing, and 2 24 inch pieces of 1/4 inch steel rod. The square tubing for the cradle can be a lighter weight wall thickness. Something like 14 gauge steel usually works well. For each tunnel, you'll need a 7-foot length of 36 inch wide welded wire fencing. We use stiffer 14 gauge wire to ensure the tunnel will be able to maintain its shape when geese or other large birds stand on the top. Do not use chicken wire or any lightweight fencing. The best wire spacing is 1 inch by 2 inch mesh, as it will hold in the straw or grass really well, add a bit more structural strength, and it doesn't cost as much as finer mesh sizes. In addition to the wire, you'll need some flax straw or grass hay for the exterior of the tunnel. Flax straw is preferred due to its durability, but may be difficult to find outside of the upper Midwest. Grass hay works well as an alternative, but try to avoid alfalfa hay or straw from cereal grains like rice, barley, and wheat. They are light and brittle, so they don't last very long. Before beginning the construction process, make sure you have gloves, eye protection, and any other necessary safety equipment for the project. This includes a dust mask for working with flax or grass hay, especially if you're in an enclosed area or the hay is particularly dusty or moldy. With the tools and materials gathered, we're ready to begin. The first step is to prepare the base pipe. Drill one 3/8 inch hole about 4 inches from one end of your 8-foot post. This will be used for height adjustment of the hen house. Step 2 is the cradle. First, drill 3 3/8 inch holes in the 32 inch piece of 1 inch square tubing. This piece of tubing is the insert that will slide into the base pipe, and the holes will allow for height adjustment. Next, bend the 2 pieces of 1/4 inch steel rod into a semicircle, roughly 16 to 18 inches in diameter. Don't worry if it's not perfectly rounded. Now it's time for some welding. Place the top of the 32 inch insert piece against the center of the 24 inch cradle base and spot weld them together. It will look like a capital T. Next, you'll need to weld a piece of 1/4 inch rod on top of each end of the cradle base. The ducks won't care how pretty the weld is, but make sure it's solid enough to hold. Here's what the finished cradle looks like and how it fits into the base pipe. The last step is to build the tunnel, and for this you'll need a tape measure, some wire cutters, a handful of hog rings, and some hog ring pliers. Unroll the wire fencing onto the table and cut a 7-foot length. From one end, roll up the first 34 inches to create the inner tunnel and secure it with 4 to 5 hog rings. Lay out flax straw or an alternative material on the remaining 4 feet of fencing. It should be 2 to 3 inches thick and difficult to see through. Roll the tunnel as tightly as possible and secure the end with another 5 to 7 hog rings. It should look like a tunnel with a 2-inch ring of flax around the outside. Make sure you have some extra grass or flax to fill roughly 1/2 to 2/3 of the inside of your hen house. Hens will need it to build a nest bowl, but will not bring it with them. Once you've installed the hen house in a wetland, you'll simply need to level out the nest material and the ducks will do the rest. Thanks for watching this video on how to build a Delta Waterfowl hen house. Make sure to check out our website at www.deltawaterfowl.org for more information about hen houses and why they're one of the most effective duck production tools in conservation.